G'day, I'm Nick McArdle and welcome to Reds TV. It certainly has been a busy week in the lead up to the grand final rematch against the Crusaders, with star halfback Will Guinea signing a deal that will see him stay with the franchise through until 2015. That is great news. Before we move on, let's take a look back at the game that was so influential in Guinea's decision to stay in Brisbane and see how the side managed to change rugby history and become the first ever Queensland side to record a win at Eden Park against the Blues.
The Reds recorded their first ever victory against the Blues at Eden Park last Friday night, with both sides going for broke to secure the much needed win. Reds TV caught up with Reds assistant coach Jim Mackay this week to get his take on the game, and we began by asking him what effect picking two open side flankers had on the team's performance.
In the context of the game, with both sides not firing leading into the game, for both sides it was important they started, so fortunately it was us. And then you sort of bring out the demons in the other side, so they probably were thinking, here we go again. So it was critical in that game to start well. It was one of our best games that we've had this year at the breakdown. We produced 75% quick ball, which is a really good statistics, well above average. They love competing at the breakdown, so we tackled low and then they're straight in there. We've got a bunch of guys that can do that. They did really well for us.
Two of the bigger backline names returned to the side this week, Ioane and Anthony Fainga. Do you think they've performed well? Yes,
really well. So apart from being good players, what they bring is energy, experience and confidence. So whilst they personally add to the team, but they also bring out the best in the others around them.
The Reds will be looking to carry their momentum into this weekend's important clash with the Crusaders in Christchurch on Sunday.
As we enter into the month of May, one day approaches where everyone takes time out to thank the special women in our lives. Yes, Mother's Day is fast approaching, and even the Reds set time aside to spoil their mums. This year, the Reds decided to spread the love and hand out more than 2,000 flowers to the women of Brisbane to say thank you for their support, while at the same time promoting their Ladies' Day game and Ladies in Red function. Reds TV joined the boys as they stepped out into Queen Street Mall. Let's take a look.
In the lead up to Mother's Day, the St George Queensland Reds had the chance to showcase their more sensitive sides by taking to the streets of Brisbane armed with flowers to deliver to the ladies of their city. The entire Reds squad split up across Brisbane's busy Queen Street Mall to hand out over 2,000 single blooms, while also inviting the ladies to come along to their next home game against Sonny Bill Williams' Chiefs on Mother's Day.
We're here on the Queen Street Mall handing out flowers to the ladies of Brisbane. We encourage you all to get down on Mother's Day to the Chiefs game at Suncorp. It should be a great day.
While the boys were making their way through the city and perhaps attracting some new fans, Reds TV took the chance to ask them what they were planning to do for their mums on her special day.
I don't really know. She likes to drink a lot of wine, so I'll probably get her a few bottles here and there, but she's actually in the city today, and I thought there's a free rose on the line, so I rang her and said, how about I give you an early Mother's Day present, because that means I don't have to spend any money now. But usually we sit down, have a dinner for her. She's done a lot for us, and it's usually a lot of wine on her part.
Obviously it's on Sunday, so we play on the Sunday afternoon. I'll probably have to take Mum out for a breakfast on Saturday morning. Give her a big hug. She's a pretty special lady and a big influence on my career.
Mother's Day, I've got three brothers, so we've got a pretty special mum, and she's taken care of us for a long time, so we'll probably take her out for a nice lunch somewhere, maybe breakfast in bed, and just treat her real well. Try not to fight.
We'll hopefully probably try and get a win against the Chiefs. That'd be the good thing. But yeah, she'll be over to watch the game at Suncorp, so I think she'll be pretty happy with the win, but it'll be good to see her and good to have her in Brizzy, and might cook her breakfast, but it is game day, so we'll have to wait and see.
Each flower came with a special code that recipients can use online or at the box office on game day to redeem a Mother's Day discount on their tickets. So rather than doing the same old breakfast in bed for your mum on Mother's Day, why don't you encourage her to come along to Suncorp Stadium to see the Reds take on the Chiefs? Also, exclusively for Reds female supporters, the Reds are hosting their inaugural Ladies in Red cocktail function at the Marble Bar next Thursday. Hosted by Network 10's Georgina Lewis and featuring a special Reds fashion parade thanks to Westfield Chermside and the Cloakroom, it's sure to be a great night for all involved.
It'd be hard to go past the grand final last year. I think that'd be a big part of everyone's greatest achievements for the Reds. I love to play golf. I'm pretty ordinary at it. We have a hit usually a couple of times a month and my handicap's about 20. I started when I was 12. I played for the old Collegians Rugby Union in Adelaide, South Australia.
Each week, RedsTV takes a look inside Queensland Premier Rugby, arguably Australia's best breeding ground for rugby talent, and with the help of Musashi, names a High Performer of the Week. Let's take a look at what happened in round 1 of the Premier Rugby competition.
This week marked the first round of the Queensland Premier Rugby competition, and in true Queensland tradition, the weather took a turn for the worst and saw 2 of the 5 matches postponed until Tuesday night. In the games that went ahead, the Battle of the Coast saw the Breakers play host to the Stingrays, and the Gold Coast got home 29 points to 15. Norths played host to Jeeps, and the Gallopers took advantage of the return of Radiki Samo, winning the game 28 points to 17. Wests moved their game to Ballymore, where they played host to University. University got home in a hard-fought match, 23 points to 19. Souths played host to reigning premiers Sunnybank at Chipseywood Oval on Tuesday night, and the Magpies got home 25 points to 20. The match of the round saw East play host to Brothers. In a tight contest, Brothers snuck home 20 points to 17. Each week we will be awarding a Musashi High Performer of the Week. After round 1, that award goes to Brothers halfback David Campbell. Congratulations David, I hope you enjoy that Musashi prize pack. This weekend's game of the round sees Jeeps play host to Souths, with both teams coming off strong wins in round 1. Make sure you get down to Yoku Road in Ashgrove and watch the boys go head to head in what is sure to be a classic battle. Stay tuned next week for more Premier Rugby action.
Well, this week the Reds are travelling to Christchurch for a grand final rematch against the Crusaders. The Reds took out the final last year, capping off their record-breaking season, becoming the first ever Queensland team and the second ever Australian team to take out the Super Rugby Championship. The Crusaders this year have been putting in some strong performances, taking down some big teams in recent rounds, including the Stormers and the Waratahs. This time round, Richie McCaw and the Canterbury boys have the home ground advantage and will be ready to throw everything they have at the Reds. Let's check out all the action from last year's Super Rugby Grand Final.
It's a night at Suncorp Stadium the St George Queensland Reds of 2011 and their loyal fans won't soon forget. Coming into the Super Rugby final as heavy underdogs against the 7-time champion Crusaders, the Reds had the chance to win their first Super Rugby title since the game went professional, and the opportunity to bring home silverware to their long-suffering supporters who'd been waiting 16 years. After a tryless first half from the Reds, it wasn't until the 50th minute mark when flyer Digby Ioane carved through the Crusaders line before playing it up in front of a Super Rugby record crowd of over 52,000. And of course, the moment which brought everyone out of their seats. Champion halfback Will Genia left his mark on the game and the history books by darting through the tiring Crusaders defensive line and running 60 metres to score the match-winning try, and one of the more memorable 5-pointers in Australian rugby history. Genia's efforts not only broke the 13-all deadlock, but proved to be the difference on the night, sealing the inaugural Super 15 title for Queensland and their first championship since 1995. The outstanding 18-13 win put the icing on a magical 2011 season that, with just 3 losses, rewrote the records and reinvigorated the entire Queensland rugby community. The grand final rematch this Sunday in Christchurch will be another blockbuster, as the Reds aim to notch their 5th win in a row over the 7-time Super Rugby champion Crusaders.
When greatness calls, we will respond.
thanks for joining me for another episode of Reds TV. Best of luck to the Reds this week as they cross the ditch to take on the mighty Crusaders. I'm sure the Reds will be keen to secure their second win in New Zealand after beating the Blues last week. Make sure you tune in next Thursday for more exclusive behind-the-scenes action. And don't forget to send in your questions to @Reds_rugby. I'm Nick McArdle. Catch you next week.
Cooper bringing Davies in. Rod Davies! A double to Rocket Rod! A set-piece try from a 5-man